All right, welcome back to the Farm Cook Kitchen Outdoor Edition. Today, we're firing up the smoker. What are we making? We're making individual keto meatloaves.
Welcome back to the Farm Cook channel. This is the place where you get to eat well, have fun, and hopefully learn lots, especially about low carb and keto cooking. So now, let's get ready and make some dinner.
To put together the meatball mix, all I did was drop in 3 pounds of 80/20 ground beef, 2 pounds of bulk breakfast sausage. The rest of the recipe is 3 eggs, whipped up, 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, about a cup and a half of barbecue rub. And I'm going to put in, I don't know, about 2/3 of this and see how it goes. The barbecue rub will actually help absorb some of the moisture from this. And we're also going to finish off with the Parmesan cheese. That's going to help act as a binder along with the eggs. Because this is keto, it doesn't have any breadcrumbs or any oatmeal or anything like that. And all I'm going to do is just mush this all together. Try to get things as distributed as possible. These are one of my absolute favorite things to make. They're so easy and so tasty. There's just something about the smoker. There's something magical that happens when you cook stuff in the smoker. It's totally different. If you're used to meatloaf from the oven and you think that's pretty good, just wait till you try this. It is a very different animal than your mom's meatloaf, unless your mom happened to have a smoker and use it for making meatloaf. So all I'm doing is trying to break up the ground beef and the sausage, get it mixed, everything integrated. And you can tell by looking at it, the two proteins are different colors, different textures. And that is pretty good. And I just realized I forgot a very important ingredient. I'll be right back. Final ingredient, onions. This happens to be a red onion. It's one very large red onion, but that's just what I happen to have around. You could use a white onion, yellow onion, doesn't matter. I personally don't like big chunks of onion mixed in with the rest of the protein. I don't think that's very appealing, so I've diced this up pretty fine, but it's meatloaf. You don't have to go crazy. So that's, I don't know, maybe a cup and a half or 2 cups, and probably closer to 2 cups of diced onions for the 5 pounds of meat. Now, just to integrate the onions into the rest of this mix, I'll make sure everything is thoroughly incorporated and that rub gets distributed and everything starts to come together. And the nice thing about this format of meatloaf is that it is easy to throw into the freezer. This is obviously 5 pounds of protein. There's going to be, I don't know, maybe 20% less after it gets done cooking, maybe 30% less after it gets done cooking, but still a fair amount of protein. So this is great for meal prep. Obviously, you can do smaller volumes. But I think this is very handy because I can just go to the store and buy a 3-pound thing of ground beef and a couple of things of sausage and not have to worry about, oh, is this say a 1.5 pound package of ground beef to go along with the 1 pound package of sausage. So I think this is pretty well incorporated. And what I'm going to do next is take off a glove. I don't want to slime the container. And use some of this Kraft cheese as a binder for the rest of the meatloaf. So this is the final product. I just mixed up the rest of the mix, formed them into what I would consider individual serving size mounds. The advantage of these guys is that one, they're basically individual size. Again, they look large. I mean, these are, well, they are. These are like softball size, but there's at least 20% of the ground beef that is going to drain away, right? Because it's 80-20. The sausage is actually probably a higher percentage of fat. So a bunch of that is going to come away. And what you're left with are going to be what I think of as individual serving size meatloaves that will work great for meal prep for the week. And if there are leftovers, and when there are leftovers, just throw them in the freezer, and then you have something for the rest of the week. Or if you don't want to throw stuff into the freezer, you can share with your neighbors. The meat fairy is very popular around here when there's leftovers. So all I did was form these into little mounds and dusted them with a little bit of the excess rub, and now they're ready to go into the smoker. Smoker's been heating while I've been doing this prep, allowing that initial smoke, that nasty white smoke, to just dissipate. And now we're at the point of just having the thin, blue, perfect smoke to produce magic when these things go in and eventually when they come out. I can't wait. So now we're ready to drop these guys into the smoker. Before I do that, I want to make sure I get a temperature probe into the largest of these so that I have a pretty good idea what the temperature is and when it's going to be done. And now, just grab a rack, and shove it into the smoker. And the temperature for the smoker right now is about 300 or so degrees. It just dropped when I opened the door. But these will cook probably in an hour and a half or so. Obviously, we're going to keep track of things, and they're done when they're done. Let's check later. All right, so thermometer is now reading 165 degrees. Let's take these guys out, see what they look like. Actually, what I think I'm going to do is just turn everything off. Since I know they've already reached the temperature, all I got to do is take them out, and we are good to go. Look at these guys. Pretty nice. Don't need that any longer. Whew, pretty warm in there. So we've got 7 individual sized meatloaves that are going to be terrific. I cannot wait to give these a try. Got to let them rest for a couple of minutes, and then we'll dive in. It's been about 5 minutes since I brought these guys in. The juices have had a chance to sort of coalesce and get reabsorbed back into the protein. So what we're going to do now, we're going to test. I'm going to grab one of these guys, one of the larger ones. Let's see what that looks like when we cut into it. Oh man, look at that. Let's give it a little sample here. Bon appetit. Awesome. You can definitely taste the rub that got mixed in, as well as some of the other seasonings. And you can definitely taste the sausage that's mixed in as well. This is spectacular. There's just a hint of smoke in there. It's just wonderful. This is the dish. So If you're interested in making a meatloaf and making it keto, you might want to try individualized smoked meatloaves.